Flipping the Pyramid. www.flippingthepyramid.co.uk.
I went through all that fucking deterministic shit, and to me, it's just a distraction because
I was kind of
illogical.
That's what I said. Yeah, distraction.
It basically adds up to nothing but a perpetual motion machine. Because when you come to it, when you look at the physical reality, yes, it is most definitely deterministic because it's cause and effect. In the same way as if you're playing a game of pool, when you hit that cue ball initiates all the others to start moving, cause and effect. But if you hit that cue ball in a different direction, you get a different result. So if you trace the three-dimensional universe, cause and effect, all the way back to its beginning, you get back to the supposed Big Bang, blah, blah, blah. And unfortunately, that's where the whole premise falls down.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
For it to begin, it had to have something else causing it. So you end up in a logical loop. You end up in a permanent loop.
It's all left brain thinking.
It's like the ontological argument. It cannot sustain itself. It only sustains itself because you say it sustains itself. Do you see what I mean? Mm-hmm. So from that point, to me...
Ontological means how you get knowledge, right?
Yes, but in a theological sense, the ontological argument means you create something merely by your act of saying it, envisioning it, conceiving of it. So in other words, this thing only exists because you say it exists.
I thought ontology is like the science of how knowledge is obtained.
Yeah, it is in a physical science, he said, sense.
Yeah, I'm sorry for the bullshit, guys.
No, it's just... It's one of them things that comes in with theology because it was a big debate in religious circles in medieval times.
It's one of the parts of metaphysics, of course. So it's kind of important.
See, when I was younger,
please let me finish, Ty, because otherwise I'll lose thought like a brain fart. What was I going to? Yeah, what I was trying to say to Key, if you trace it back to that very beginning, then to me it becomes obvious that yes, the physical environment is deterministic if left to its own devices. In the same way as if when you hit those pool balls, if you then do nothing else, the cause and effect will take place within the physical reality. Whereas if you hit the cue ball and then run to the other end of the table and pick up one of the balls, that ball has now been removed from the cause and effect. And what we experience as existence is our true selves, which operates outside of the cause-effect reality, interacting in a cause and effect reality. So it's a little bit like you sticking your face into a fishbowl. Yeah, your true self is the ability to free choose, to have true free choice, because you are part and parcel of, an emanation of, the energy of everything, that quantum field that allows all potentiality. If you have the allowance of all potentiality, cause and effect becomes nonsensical, right? Mm-hmm. And we insert ourselves, or we are inserted into, a cause and effect environment. So if you don't interact with it, of course it will go along and do what it does by its cause and effect values, including yourself, your own mentality. Yeah. That's why I use that phrase, asleep at the wheel. You know, that's a lot of what we talk about when we talk about sheeple and the awakening and the consciousness and being conscious. It's being aware of what the fuck are you doing, what is influencing you, and how are you influencing everything else, so that you can make a more aware free will choice to do something different. Even if it's the most absurd thing imaginable, that proves your free will choice.
Yeah, if you go back to that picture that DS dropped the other day about learning, life is like learning opportunities.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Like lessons, life lessons.
Mm-hmm.
So that would make more sense if you think like, there has to be like free will for some people to make decisions anyway,
It's just even if you can reason that determinism works, it still doesn't make sense to me. It's just common sense, you know.
Yeah, it's illogical because it requires its own existence to prove its own existence.
Yeah, and exactly when you go back to when the starting point must be the Big Bang.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's like a disconnect.
Yeah,
or you have to say like there's like a creator. You know, you can solve it that way, but that's not science, of course.
Yeah, exactly. That's the problem. It's just a perpetual motion machine.
Can I come in now?
Yes, sorry, Ty. Thank you.
No, it's no problem. It's just in case you thought it was Thursday and you were doing a show. I didn't want to interrupt you.
I do a show every fucking night.
Oh, and by the way, see if you're up in Glasgow and you hit the pool balls about the table and then you walk down and you picked one of those balls up, it'd be 2 fucking shots to me, and then you'd probably get smacked about the head and you'd get the chalk put up one of your nostrils. I'm a pool shark, so don't talk to me about pool. But see what you were kind of talking about there. When I was younger, and I decided just to make a decision, I just made it. If I wanted to go left, I went left. If I wanted to go right, I went right. See now I find myself going right. I'm going to go left and then thinking, right, but what if I change my mind and go right? Have I changed to do the right thing, or have I changed what I should have done and I'm now doing the wrong thing? I find myself questioning my actions so much more the more I get older. Whereas, I don't know if that's like because when I was young, I didn't have any fear, and now I feel as though I know a lot more, and I think,
you got more experience.
I wonder what my actions are going to...
Yeah, what repercussions? What are the consequences?
So
a lot of it is just rationalizations, of past things. You know, you just you make that choice, and then later on you make up a story like, yeah, I did that because so and so. You know, yeah. Rationalizations are realizations. Say sometimes.
And as well, it's also a good example of that lesson learning.
Yeah.
You know, but you can argue that it's based on fear, because what you're actually doing is questioning yourself or overthinking something because you are afraid of something that might happen, i.e. pain, injury, misery, whatever, you know, because in previous experiences you've gone with your initial thought and you've ended up suffering in some way from it. You had some kind of bad consequence. So now your ego and brain, because your ego is primarily your survival instinct, that's its primary drives. Is it going, hang on a minute, are you sure you want to do that? Maybe we should reconsider. What if you go right instead? That, you know, if you go that way, will there be less pain?
Yeah. I think when I was younger, I used to think, right, I hope I get away with this. But now I just think, I hope I don't get caught.
Yeah, exactly.
Mine was usually, this might hurt. Yeah, when I was leaping off buildings and shit like that. Yeah, could I do it? Oh yeah, I can. It might hurt. Too late.
Okay.
In a deterministic environment, this is my biggest problem with it. Is if it's true, then it literally makes you, again, this is what I was talking about the other week, it makes you dead flesh. And that's part of why the ideology is so often, it lurks around the atheist, materialistic, academic...
It's another ism as well.
Attitude. Well, yeah, it is, but, you know, there's fucking millions of
it's kind of weird to get that, to take that deterministic approach and then set it loose on justice system and then say like, yeah, people are just the way they are, and then go for the solution, let's try to change people.
But that's not even possible in the deterministic world.
Exactly.
Because if you're like a rapist, it's like, yeah, sorry, I'm a rapist. That's just who I am. You know, I'm not. There's no point in. You might as well say just shoot everybody because nobody can be changed. There's no point to rehabilitate. So that's what I didn't even get with the whole.
And unfortunately, your act of deciding to shoot everybody would have already been predetermined.
Yeah, maybe you could say it's like pre-crime. You can predict.
It just collapses in on itself.
Yeah, it's just nonsense. However way you look at it. But if you take like a practical approach, you know, you say like, okay, everything is set in advance. You know, there's no free will. So there's like a free card for criminals to say like, yeah, sorry.
Mm-hmm. As soon as you're born, just get put into jail, and then if you're good,
exactly.
they'll let you out.
You're gonna be a criminal. I'm sorry about that.
Just get born into the criminal system. Just that's you. You're born. You're in a cell. If you're a good boy, we'll let you out when you're 16.
Which is basically what we already have, like the poor class. You know, the higher chance to get into jail. You know, or alcoholism, stuff like that.